Hello and welcome to SealDealFinder.com. I am Joel Usher, the co-founder of SealDealFinder.com, where we teach, train, and coach wholesalers on becoming financially independent by building business teams. And I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm so grateful to have you here on today, watching this video. That means that you have an interest in learning more, or you need help with training or coaching one-on-one, or you just want to be a part of a business system, a business team. Over the next 2 to 5 years, SealDealFinder.com is looking for 7 to 10 key people to help build a business model, a business system, plug into our business system and build business teams where you can create a 6-figure income. And so I am so grateful that you are taking the time out to be able to do so on today. Today, I got a presentation for you to just show you and share with you our business model. And at the end of this business model, it is my hope that if you are ready to join, you will. I will give you the next steps. You can give me a call. I will share my phone number at the end. If you have more questions, you can also give me a call, and I will be gladly available to answer those questions for you, let you know a little bit more about SealDealFinder.com. And so I'm so grateful that you're here. A little bit of background about me. Again, my name is Joel Usher. My background is in the financial services industry. I was part of this financial services team. Great networking business model. And my mentor, my coach, was a guy that started off at a company, at a grocery store. He was a pharmacist and was able to, through building a business team, a huge network of business partners, he was able to grow his income from making just $45,000 a year as a pharmacist to making over $650,000 a year. And this was about 12 to 13 years ago. That I was able to hook up with him and be able to learn from him, learn leadership skills from him, and how to build a successful business team so that you can become financially independent. The guy was making 50 to 60 grand a month. And in doing so, I learned a lot from him, but financial services wasn't my passion. It wasn't something I was passionate about. You know, there's 3 things that make you successful in anything that you do. Number 1 is you have to have knowledge of the thing that you're doing, the know-how. The number 2, you have to have skills. You have to have the ability to do it. And number 3, you have to have a burning desire, something that can't be taught. You have to have a burning desire or passion is how we say it, in order for you to be able to be successful at whatever it is that you're doing in that financial services industry. I made a little bit of money, but I didn't make money to become financially independent. But real estate, I have a passion for real estate, and wholesale real estate is where I started off with. I spent about $5,000 trying to get coached in a training program. I got valuable information, but I never had anyone walk me through one hand by hand, do simple things like, how do I fill out a contract, and or be able to ask those questions that seem silly, or be comfortable enough to ask those questions that seem silly. So here we are, some years later, about 3 years later, and I said to myself, you know what? There are so many people out there who are new to the wholesaling business. They need help, they need training, they need coaching, they need someone one-on-one, and they don't have the money to spend $5,000 or even $1,000 to be able to do so. So we're going to be able to show them how they can be able to become financially independent, not just through wholesaling, but building a successful business team, just like my coach did in the financial services industry. And now that guy, his name is Carlos Gonzalez. Now that guy, you fast forward to the day, that was 13 years ago, where he was making $650,000 a year. Now he makes well over $1 million a year, making anywhere between $90,000 to $100,000 a month in his financial services business. And you can do the same thing through this business model. Like I said, over the next 2 to 5 years. Now, this is not a get rich quick scheme. So anything that, if you came to this thing thinking that you're going to all of a sudden get rich overnight, that's not necessarily going to happen. But with some hard work and dedication, you can become financially independent, and you can be able to become rich by creating a successful business team. And so this is StillDaleFinder.com. Just bear with me for a little while. We're going to go through this. I don't know what your level is as you're watching this video, so just bear with us, and I'm going to show you our business model. We are creating financial independence through building business teams. That's the entire point to this process. It's not just about wholesaling properties. It's about building a business team where you can be able to wholesale properties yourself, and your team will also, and you can create passive income for yourself. And that, I believe, is what we all would like to have. And so, again, your net worth equals your network. As you are listening to this presentation, this entire presentation is created based on this quote by Tim Sanders: your net worth equals your network. The bigger the network, like my coach in the financial services industry, the bigger the network, the more money you can make. The bigger business that you've created through people and partnerships, the more money you can make. And we're going to teach you how to be able to do that. What is wholesaling? At the very simple, because I don't know what your level is, but at the very, very simple foundation principle of wholesaling is that we sell contracts for money. Okay, or we assign contracts for money, and that's the very simple. We don't sell real estate; we sell contracts. We are kind of like a broker, and this is a property that I was able to put under contract not too long ago and turn it into a rental property. But this is very simple. What wholesaling is you're selling contracts for money. You are assigning contracts to investors for money. Couple of things you need to know: differences between real estate agents and wholesalers. And I don't know where your level is, but I do want you to understand the difference is that the biggest difference is that real estate agents assist in buying and selling of real estate for clients to receive a commission. We do not receive commissions. It is illegal for you to receive commissions if you do not hold a real estate license. Again, real estate agents are licensed and they are held to a higher standard of rules, or they're just, they have a lot more restrictions on what they can and can't do. They got to disclose when they are investing that they are agents. So there's really nothing wrong with being a real estate agent and a wholesaler. So if you're looking at having your real estate license, you can do so, but you do need to understand that there are some rules that you have to follow. They have access to the MLS, the multiple listing service, and the cost for upkeep in becoming a real estate agent is between $1,000 to $1,500 a year, just depending on whatever state you are in. You have to do continuing education courses and those kind of things to keep up with your license. I have had a license as a real estate agent, and I let mine go because I think for me personally, I didn't really need it in order to do investing the way that I wanted to do investing. It was great information, but I didn't really need it to do what I needed to do. So for a wholesaler sells contracts for assignment fees. And that's the difference between a real estate agent and a wholesaler. We're not in the business of taking a buyer to properties and trying to show them this property or that property. We are in the business of selling contracts. Do not need a license in order to do business. As a wholesaler, you don't need a license. You have to just be 18 or above, because you can only enter into a contract legally if you are 18 or above. We do not have access to the MLS the way the real estate agents do, but there are programs out there like PropStream, Elite RESS, where you can have access to the MLS through those programs. Or you can even partner with real estate agents and be able to have access to the MLS. And we are not required by any law to have continuing education courses or any of that. We don't have to have a license. And so it is easy for you to be able to become a wholesaler when it comes to the know-how, knowing how to do it, and be able to develop those skills. So the 5-step process of wholesaling. Again, I don't know where you're at in your level and what you have done and what you haven't done, but I do want to go over this so that we can make these things clear. You need to understand that this thing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You have to work the system. This is a system. This is a process. It's a system. And then and what we've done is we've taken this system and made it a duplicatable system. The system is easy, okay, but it's hard work. The system is easy, but it's hard work. All right. So how do you get started? You first have to market to generate leads. You have to get leads. It is just like if you had a new business, you opened up a store, you've got to get customers. So you've got to advertise, you've got to market, you've got to do some branding, you have to have a logo, you have to have a website, you have to have all of these different things. If you are opening up a brick and mortar store, that's what you have to do in order for you to get customers. For us, marketing to generate leads may be going on Craigslist. It may be driving for dollars. It may be all of those things. If you listen to any of the YouTube videos that are out there, and or if you listen to books and those type of things, you know that marketing, that generating leads is the first step. You've got to get leads. You got to find your motivated sellers. Once you find your motivated sellers, then the second thing that you have to do is you have to trace those motivated sellers so you can get in contact with them. And so you got to reach out to them. You have to get them on the phone. You have to get them by email, through text blast, however it is that you're doing it. You've got to be able to get in contact with them. You got to reach out to your leads and follow up on those leads. Once you find out that they are motivated sellers, you got to follow up with them. And then the third point, the third part of that process, and this is probably the most important point to the process, is you got to analyze your deals, set your appointments, and make your offers. All of those go together. You got to analyze your deals, make your appointments, and make your offers. Set your appointments and make your offers. And that's what you've got to be able to do. And you've got to do that constantly. You make your money when you make your offers. So you have to make sure that you've analyzed the deal and your ARV is correct, your after repair value is correct, your rehab numbers are correct, so that when you go to market this particular property to an investor, you can be able to sell that property. You can be able to assign that property to an investor. So the third part of that process is analyzing your deals, setting your appointments, and making offers. And you've got to do that constantly. You got to constantly be making offers, because if you're not making offers, you're not making money. That's bottom line. If you're not making offers, you're not making money wholesaling. So just going out there, getting leads and doing that stuff and not doing the follow up, and then not making any offers, you're not going to make money, bottom line. The next step is to sign contracts, get the contract signed with the seller. Once you have those numbers in place, get that contract signed with the sellers. And then the next part is getting that contract into the hands of investors or buyers so that they will be able to buy that contract and you can assign that contract, non-refundable fee, sign that contract, and then closing. And so that's the 5-step process of wholesaling. I don't know what your level is and what you've done and what you haven't done, but that's the 5-step process. It's easy, it's duplicatable, but it's hard work. You got to continue doing it. You got to put in the effort, you got to put in the time, and you can't give up just because you get a no. Okay? No, I always tell my team, no means next one. That means if that person's not going to do it, we got to go on to the next one. So no means next one. So again, just reiterating all of that. You got to market leads. You've seen the We Buy Houses signs all over the place, or you may see them on Facebook or in advertisements. We buy houses, any condition, all that kind of stuff, or we can sell your house fast. Those type of things. That's all advertising, funneling, networking. That's how you generate leads. That's how you market leads. The follow up. You reach out to your leads, nurture your email list, text blast, get your seller on the phone. That's what you want to be able to do. The third thing is analyzing your deals. After you've analyzed your deals, you set your appointments, you make your offers, and so that you can be able to make your money. You make your money when you are making your offer. So you got to make sure that your numbers are correct. You make your money when you make your offer. You get your money, you receive your money when you close. So when you assign that contract, that's when you receive it. But you make the money when you make your offers. So, and then last but not least, you sign that contract and then get that contract assigned to an investor. And so basically what I've shared with you is the steps for a typical wholesaler, the individual wholesaler, the guy that's out there who's generating these leads. They're doing it by themselves. They are the typical wholesaler. And so in this part of the presentation, what we're going to talk about is taking that process and creating a business around that process, creating a system around that process that allows you to make passive income, no longer being self-employed. This is called the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Great book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You've got to get that book. If you have not read it, get that book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad talks about the cash flow quadrant. And basically what he says is that wealth in America, 80% of the people who are wealthy in America are on the right side of the quadrant. They're business owners and investors. They are people who own a system, and they have people that work with them or have people who work for them. And so they are able to leverage their time and their money and their resources in order for them to be able to make money. And 100% of the money and the money that they make is not because of the 100% of their efforts, but by the efforts of a bunch of people. Okay, that's how my coach was able to develop a successful business, because he created a huge network, a huge business team. And that's what we want to teach you, because most people who are wholesalers who go into the wholesale game are on the left side of the quadrant. They are self-employed and they probably have a job. Okay, so you have a job, you have no time, you have no leverage, you have to go to work when they tell you to go to work, you get off when they tell you to get off, and all of those things. And basically you have a job, and job just simply means just over broke. They pay you just enough to keep you there. Okay, they don't pay you what you're worth. They don't pay you your value. They pay you just enough so that you're not broke in most cases, right? But if you're a wholesaler, the typical wholesaler, all that work that I talked about is self-employed, right? They own the job. They make a little bit more money, and they make a little bit more money, but they own the job. It's just like a doctor. Doctor owns the job. Nobody can do what that doctor is doing. So if that doctor decides to take a vacation, that doctor loses income. If that surgeon decides to take a vacation, nobody else can go in there and perform that same surgery like him. And so he's going to lose income. If you're a hairdresser, same thing. If you're a real estate agent, you decide to take a vacation as a regular real estate agent, your money stops because you're not closing any deals. You're not closing any deals while you're on vacation. Well, maybe you are, but you're a workaholic. And so all of it comes for you. So now you don't have time to enjoy your money. You have no leverage. Okay. So we're teaching you how to be able to become, how to use wholesaling to create a system, to be a part of a system, to create a system where you can leverage your time, your money, your resources, and the business team. And once you're able to successfully do that, then you can become an investor and invest in things that will bring you more passive income so that your money is working for you instead of you working for it. All right. So now hopefully you're still following me here. If you're wholesaling alone, you're trading time for resources. You're spending all your time marketing the leads yourself. You're spending all that time following up on those leads yourself. You're spending all that time analyzing all the deals by yourself. You're spending all that time setting your appointments and making your offers by yourself. You're spending all that time trying to get that property assigned to an investor by yourself. But with a team, you can leverage your time and leverage your resources, because now the team can help you be able to do those things. And sometimes that team, once they know what they're doing, can go out and do the same thing, and you can get paid for that. And I'm going to show you how that works here in a second. So let's kind of show you how leveraging your time and resources differs from being a typical wholesaler, the traditional wholesaler, versus the stilldealfinder.com system. Okay. If you are a typical wholesaler, you are an entrepreneur. It is great that you are an entrepreneur, but you are what is considered a solo entrepreneur. You are by yourself. All right. So you got to find your own leads. You got to pay for your own marketing. All right. You got to create your own buyers list and sellers list. You got to cold call your own leads. You got to call all your own leads. And I don't know about you, but the phone is the hardest thing to do, right? To call all of those leads. I don't know about you, but that's me. Maybe that's just my hang up. But cold calling your own leads, sometimes that can be kind of scary. All right. And it's very time consuming. If you're creating your wholesale business and you want to do it correctly, you may want to create a business around it, create an LLC. So there's going to be business expenses if you're a solo entrepreneur. And you want to create a website around it, you want to do a logo, you want to do business cards, you got formation costs. You know, in the state of Texas, it's $300 to form an LLC if you do it by yourself. If you are paying a company to do it, it's gonna be well over $600 to $700 to be able to pay for somebody else to do it. So at the end of the day, you're still trading time for money. All the work is being done. It's 100% of your efforts and no passive income coming in. But with StillDealFinder.com, we create the leads and pass those leads onto the team. Basically, what we do is we do some marketing ourselves. So we do the marketing ourselves. The StillDealFinder.com does the marketing, right? And we create those. And what we do is we leverage the team's profit. We leverage the team so that we can create leads through a virtual assistant. The virtual assistant calls those leads. And so we leverage the team's profit to pay for marketing. StillDealFinder.com leverages the team's network to create buyers and sellers lists. So because you're a part of a team, it's not just your buyers list or your sellers list, it's everybody's buyers and sellers list. And so we create a network of buyers and sellers. All right. StillDealFinder.com takes the hassle out of creating a new business because our business is already created. We already got shirts. We already got business cards. We already got the logo. We already got the Facebook page. We already got the website. We've got all of those things already in place, and you don't have to worry about doing any of that because we've taken the hassle out of doing that because we've already created it. And then last but not least, and this is the most important thing, is that with StillDealFinder.com, you can recruit and train and build a huge successful network, a huge successful team through using our system and create passive income. And that saves you time, that saves you resources, and you're able to leverage your time and your resources. And so those are the differences between the traditional wholesaler versus what we do. Now, what does that look like? You may be asking yourself, what does that look like? The earning potential, side-by-side comparison on a typical $5,000 assignment fee. Let's say you are a traditional wholesaler. You're a solo wholesaler, solo entrepreneur. You look at the time and money spent column, and you're looking at that, and you look at all these things that you have to do by yourself. You got to market to generate your leads. You got to skip trace all of your leads by yourself. You got to do all your phone calls, your cold calling. You got to analyze all your deals, set all your appointments, try to assign that contract, and then closing. So you've done all this work by yourself, all this time by yourself, and your direct income becomes $5,000, right? No passive income because it's all 100% of your efforts. Total amount of money that you make is $5,000. Okay, that's what a traditional wholesaler will do. Now, again, you can make $5,000, you can make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, depending on the deal. If you can make a good deal happen, but that's what it is. It's 100% of your efforts. But look at the same column for time and money spent for a person who's a part of our business team, who's a district acquisition specialist, who has a 5-person team. Look at the difference here. Okay, you look at the column where it says time, money spent. Notice marketing to generate leads. You don't have to do that. Why? Because we've already done it. Now, if you want to go out and do some things on your own because now your time has been leveraged and you don't necessarily have to do all the driving for dollars and all that kind of stuff. If you want to be able to just build lists and do those kind of things and send it over to our virtual assistant, you can do that. You no longer have to make all the cold calling, the skip tracing and the cold calling. You want to know why? Because our virtual assistant does it for you. Okay. You're using our virtual assistant. You're using our system. All right. So notice marketing to generate leads, phone calls, skip tracing, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do any of that work. So you are saving time and you can focus on other areas of your business, your wholesaling business. All right. And that's even better because a lot of people who start off in wholesaling have jobs throughout the day. And so now you throughout the day, the virtual assistant is making all those calls for you. And so now you can leverage on finding more opportunities. So appointments. Now the appointments you still have to do. You still have to analyze your deals. You still have to set your appointments. You still have to book them, and then get the contract signed and assign those contracts in closing. Okay, but understand something. Let's go and look. Once you've done all of that, you've only done basically the bottom half of the process. So you have saved yourself time. You leverage money because all that money is not coming from you. It's coming from the business. So when you look at the 5-person team for a district acquisition specialist who's a part of this company, part of this business at stilldealfinder.com, they get paid $3,750. Now, you may be asking yourself the question, well, why don't I get paid $5,000 like the wholesaler? Well, the reason why is because we take a little bit of that and funnel that money back into the business so that we can continue paying for the virtual assistant, so that we can continue paying for marketing that helps the entire team, and it makes it easier on you to be able to get more leads, to get more leads, and to be able to get your skip tracing done, the cold calling done. So we take a little bit off your contract, but you can make that money back through your team. When you build your team, this person has a 5-person team. We tell everybody, let's get into a habit, into a system where everybody is doing at least one deal a month. Just one deal a month, guys. It's one deal a month. And let's say you have a 5-person team and each one of them does a deal. Okay. They're getting that same amount of money, right? They're getting what they're getting paid. But what stilldealfinder.com does is we pay you passive income. So we're going to pay you $1,250 for 5 people who've done deals underneath your team. And so what you end up doing is making the same $5,000 without 100% of your effort, because your team, your 5-person team, actually went out and made deals as well, and you got paid for that. So you made the same $5,000 in less amount of time, less amount of effort, and so you were able to leverage your time, your resources. You know, a lot of it was done through the virtual assistant. Leads were generated through the business. And so all of that stuff you didn't have to do on your own. So you made the same $5,000 as a business owner, not as a self-employed person. Okay. And that's the difference between the typical solo wholesaler versus being a part of our system. So you have to ask yourself the question, if you know that you can make money every time somebody on your team cuts a deal. Okay, now that was based off of $5,000. You know, some people have deals for $10,000, so you'll make even more money on that deal. $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. You can make more money, okay, in passive income. It's a duplicated system. It's just like McDonald's, guys. How did Ray Kroc become a billionaire? Because he took 3% off of every McDonald's that they own, and they have a ton of McDonald's all across the world. And so he was a billionaire, but he only off of 3%, guys, off of less than 3% off of each one of the McDonald's stores. Okay, that's basically what you're doing. We're paying you just a little bit. We're paying you a percentage off of everybody who joins your team. So when you know that, how many people would you hire and train to be on your team? My coach, my mentor in the financial services industry, he was able to build a huge network and was making over $1 million, a year. Why? Because he was able to he had a duplicated system, and that's what we've done here at stilldealfinder.com. So how many people would you hire on your team? 3 recruits, $750 if each one is doing one. 6 recruits, $1,500. That's based off of $5,000 assignment fee. What if it was more? 9 recruits, 2250 a month in passive income. That's not even what you do. 12 recruits, 3000 a month, right? That's not even what you do. Unlimited income potential, time, and freedom equals financial independence. So, how did you get started? You may be wondering, wow, this sounds great. Along with that, not only am I getting a business system, I'm also getting coaching. I'm also getting training, one-on-one coaching. You're getting the support of a team. We have about 10 members on our team right now currently, and our team is steady growing. We have people from Wisconsin. We've got people from Philadelphia. We've got people from Massachusetts, and we got people in Austin and Houston. And so what do I need to do in order for me to get started? The first thing is you're going to sign an independent acquisition specialist contract. Basically, what you are is you are a business owner. You are a part business owner, basically kind of like a franchise of StillDealFinder.com. That's a one-time investment fee of $199, guys. Like I told you, for mine, I paid $5,000 to get information, and I got a ton of information. It was great information, but I didn't have a coach walking me one by one on the phone with me, showing me how to fill out the contract. All right, and that's what I do. That's what me and my partner Francisco Espinoza does. You call us up and we will walk you through. I spend an hour here with a team member, an hour there with a team member. If I need to spend more time with that team member, I will do so. So, and then there's just a $50 a month maintenance support and marketing fee, and that doesn't take place until after your first month in the business. And what that goes towards maintaining the website, and also helping with support and marketing materials. All right. So the next step is we set you up with our virtual assistant and our company resources. We get you business cards. We get you team shirts like this one, nice little polo shirts so that you're professional. We also get you set up with a virtual assistant so that you can be one-on-one with the virtual assistant. You can send the virtual assistant your leads if you have leads, or list if you have lists, or zip codes that you want to focus in on. That virtual assistant will work with you as he or she works with the entire team. Then we also have training conference calls. We have conference calls on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, or sometimes Saturdays. Sometimes I do pop-up conference calls with whoever's available. I do one-on-one coaching, so everybody who has access to my phone number, they can call me. And you also have the support of a team. So if you can't get a hold of me, or you can't get a hold of Francisco, you can ask the team. So we're all part of a huge group me chat, and we chat it up. Whatever somebody needs, that's whatever somebody has a need, we can meet that need. So bottom line is, step number 4, you go in business for yourself, but you are not by yourself. And that's the best part about this business, is that you are in business for yourself. You're not by yourself. So if you're new to wholesaling, you've done the YouTube videos, you've listened to the podcast, you've read the books, and now you're ready to get started, but you just don't know where to get started, we can teach you how to do so. We will coach you. We will train you on how to do so. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to be able to watch this video. Hopefully everything that was shared with you made sense to you. If you are ready to get started, the next step is for you to get with whoever it is that shared this video with you, or to get with you can go right online to StillDealFinder.com, and you can sign up as a wholesaler and pay your $199, and then we will get you started. We will get you part of the system. I will give you a call, and we will get you going right away. And I would say welcome to you. Welcome to the team. And then if you have questions, now if you still have questions about it, you can give me a call, or whoever shared this video with you, you can give them a call and get those questions answered so that we can get you started on becoming financially independent. Again, we're looking for 2 to 5 people. We're over the next 2 to 5 years, we're looking for 7 to 10 key individuals, people who are just hungry for financial independence, people who are hungry to do this business, to want to create successful business teams. We're looking for those 7 to 10 key people. There's going to be a bunch of people who are going to join, but there's going to be some people who want to tear it up And that's who we're looking for over the next 2 to 5 years, so that we can build them up, so that we can teach them how to create a six-figure income. And I believe it is possible. I believe it is very, very possible to do that within a year. But to do it successfully and to do it consistently, I think it needs to be 2 to 5 years. So that is the business model. I thank you for taking your time out of your business schedule. Again, I'm Joel Usher with SteelDealFinder.com. Until next time, I'll see you at the top because the bottom's too crowded. Peace.